Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tier X season of new season starting, season opener of the Indian racing community. This is basically our Xbox tier from last season, and we have uh, a bunch of new drivers and some of the old veteran drivers from the previous season. One of whom has moved on to the PC League, and he's right now commentating on his X tier. So he is none other than Starmaxlord. Hi, Starmaxlord. He'll be co-commentating with us, and I will be your streamer on the YouTube side, whereas Nutria will be the streamer on the Twitch side for the Xbox guys. Hi, everyone. How are y'all?
Hi Harry, I'm good. How are you?
All cool, all cool. So, we will quickly go on to a track video of the Austrian circuit, and we will check out a hot lap as well for the very same circuit. Well, it's a 4.3 kilometer track, 10 turns. Turn 3 supposed to be a very tough traction zone. Similarly, sector 3 is known to be very tough on the front tires because of the amount of turn-in you have to give in most corners. We will quickly go on a hot lap video by our very own Moto Moto to see how it looks.
Alright then, a lap of the Styrian Grand Prix circuit, the Red Bull Ring, heading down to turn 1. You're braking just before the 100-meter marker, turning in, holding fourth gear. Important all throughout the circuit to carry as much momentum as possible. Heading now down through turn 2. It's just a long sweeping corner up to turn 3, uphill braking points. So you can brake quite late without locking up the wheels. Turn in, all about getting the traction down here. So you'll see drivers short shifting up through the gears through 6th, 7th, all the way up to 8th gear before we come to the downhill braking zone of turn 4. The track drops away, so it's very important to manage your brake pressure here, because too much and you may lock up. Use all the track limit on the outside, but don't push the driver off. Turn 5, turn in at the 50-meter marker, hug the inside apex, use as much of the outside as you possibly can. Turn 6, same strategy. Don't use too much of the exit curb here, as you may invalidate your lap through turn 7 as well. Now coming down to the final couple of corners, throw it into the fast right. Important to use as much track as possible here. Same for the final corner. You can run a little bit wide on exit, and that is a lap of the Red Bull Ring.
Well, that was a brilliant hot lap from Moto Moto, and yeah, that was pretty much on edge. I think the lap time was around 1:34, 1 minute 3 seconds, point 4. So we'll quickly go into the session as the boys have already readied up into quali and they're just going out. The initial cars are first going out on track right now. Well, what do you think about what is the strategy around this place, Tamax? Do you have any ideas about the strategy?
Strategy wise, oh, it's tough call. It's definitely a long race with many laps, but it is a short track to be fair. And tire wear, I would expect there to be a lot of tire wear because it's a lot of traction zones, especially on exit. So you can expect quite a bit of wheel spin, which leads to higher tire wear on the rears. There is also a good number of fast corners, which leads to higher tire wear on the front tires. So we'll have to see how these guys manage the tires and how it will ultimately affect their race strategy.
Well, definitely we'll have to look into that. And technically, what I remember last, it's a tough or a tight, soft to medium strategy because of the tire wear that's changed on the game. And if your ABS off, it's even more tougher to get onto that soft to medium because of the various lockups you'll have or the mini lockups you'll have throughout the lap, specifically in the dying stages of your stint. So, well, will be interesting to see how these guys go around the strategy. And safety car is another factor which again is reduced in our league now that Xbox follows the same league settings as the PC side of IRC, so it's pretty much just another tier with a different gaming device that we'll be using basically. So it's a reduced setting, which means that, well, shouldn't be as sensitive the safety car coming out. We won't have 4 safety cars or 3 safety cars every race, I presume, but we'll have to wait and watch how it is.
Here is Elbave almost finishing his lap. So from what I've seen, it's a pretty clean lap so far. So
Yeah,
if he this last corner taken nicely, so this should be high. Oh, he aborted it. Huh. I think he might have done that just because he doesn't want to start on the tops.
and that's probably the first time I've seen someone do that, at least in what I have seen through streams on
Yeah,
the first flying lap itself.
yeah. I think he knew that he had a very good lap that he might have not been able to beat with his mediums. That's why he slowed down at the very end.
Yeah,
We'll have to
makes
see how it
sense.
plays out. Still another 14 minutes left of this podium. Let me go on board. Hepazap, please. I think he's on that. Oh no, we're on board. Please, I think. We just started on that.
Yeah, we'll watch Haphazard's lap. New drivers. There are about, I think, four new drivers in the league at the moment. Um, I'm not 100% sure on the number, but yes, there are about four new drivers in my knowledge, and one of them was the one whom we just saw abort his lap towards the end. The first flying lap that was going to be set. It's Aero Dave in the P2 right now with 156, but that's an aborted lap time on the softs. Contra Bobby has gone fastest with a 152, and that's these are all just banker laps or the initial laps because the track still has to get rubbered in. There'll be some track evolution, and yeah, people just you know shaking out their feathers probably, getting the rust out of them because it's the first race of the season.
I mean, all of this is going to ramp up the track to lead to more fast and faster times. I would say I'm expecting at least a couple of people getting into the 1-3s.
Well, that's a brave prediction. I do not know the pace around with the TierX boys, so all I know is the likes of HB and KT who are right now in the same team of the Red Bull. Oh, and we have a spin over there for Kundan the gamer. He's just
He's
gone off
lucky to
track.
not DNF there.
Yeah, absolutely lucky that he didn't DNF. He just saved himself. We'll have hot
That's the
tires for
one
sure.
corner. That's the one corner everyone goes to park their cars.
Ooh, I see Stealthy Sunny still using his tricks of the inters on his first lap. And I hope he remembers that it's a single qualifying session and not
Yeah, I
eight.
don't know what's going on there.
That was a pretty nice thing, which I remember Stealthy, quite a few drivers used to do it. Stealthy right now is the one I can remember of because I saw it. But yeah, he'll definitely have to come out and put in a lap on the softs. He only has one quali session to do it, 18 minutes and nothing more than that. Well, the top three boys have top two drivers who put in very close lap times, just a hundredth separating them approximately. They've done it on pretty old tires, and they're probably doing multiple laps to get in some. I mean, like it's like a warm up stint of sorts of three
Yeah,
four laps, and on heavy fuel load. So probably
yeah.
nothing to look at the moment. Not much of a concern at the moment to take those times seriously.
I think if you see people setting 2 to 3 laps, I think they just fueled up for extra fuel so that they can set better laps. I don't expect them to start on that set of tires because that will be really bad for them because it will have gathered a lot of wear after 3 hot laps.
Oh, AJ Sam trying to move out of the way to give his fellow drivers some space. He was on an outlap,
Yeah, I
but
think it would have been
no.
safer if it was on the inside because people like to use the curves on them. Luckily, nothing happened, which is
Yeah, and
which is
I
good.
presume he might have some front wing damage. He's driving very slowly into the pits and he had gone off track totally. Instead of lawn mowing, he was gravel mowing over there. So, yeah, he's into
Still
the
on board
pits.
KT, please.
Yeah, one of our fastest drivers in the league, in the tier. And can we go
KT.
on board KT, please? Yep, let's go on board him and watch his whole
On board.
lap. Going to turn 3. He's already set the fastest sector 1 time according to the game, and he's on the mediums. No surprises there, I presume, because the alternate strategy must be pretty OP on this track, and specifically in the game, considering how there are incidents or there are lap 1 wing damages that make people pit. And if you can keep yourself safe in that first few laps, you probably have a better, let's say, race compared to the others in terms of strategy.
Maybe I think I need to increase my volume a bit.
Sorry, come again?
Might need to increase my volume by a bit.
Oh, your volume. Yeah, surely.
And the Twitch volume by a bit also. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. I think everything should be okay by now.
Yeah, I have sorted it out, increased the volumes by a bit. As I say that, Catty has invalidated his first time lap around the penultimate corner, and now he's had to invalidate this lap as well. I think it was an invalidation of the current and the next lap, so he's lost out on that.
That's what I heard, especially on the mediums.
Yeah, you only get one set.
Yeah, that too for quality. Is it just me? He was on medium tires, but the game says it's on softs.
Oh, that's the game is actually showing the best lap time set. So he set it on the softs, and now he's doing a proper quali lap probably on the medium tires.
Yeah.
So what the game is showing is the best tire set used, the best lap time on the particular tire set. Well, KT makes way for his teammate HB, who's right now on the penultimate corner, last corner, rounding it up, stays within the track limits, and he has set the fastest lap of 1 minute 4.8. KT coming right behind him for a brilliant slipstream, probably a little bit of dirty air into turn 1. And let's go on board KT, please. Yeah, a brilliant slipstream right now for KT, all down the start on the first straight. And he's given way for his teammate. KT must have the fastest lap time, sorry, through the first sector. So that's definitely helped him. He has the best sector 2 also, I presume, and he has one of the Alpines following him very closely. I think it's Halpazard King who is on an outlap, but is following him pretty closely. And well, we'll have to see if he's trying to steal a slipstream from KT at this point. Penultimate corner pretty decently. He's taking it a little careful. Just loses a little bit of traction.
A little there.
Yeah.
Must have compromised the lap without doubt.
But he still goes.
A very good lap though.
Yeah, a considerably faster lap time on the mediums, considering he's just a little ahead of HB, so he had much more pace out of that final corner.
I think he lost about a tenth or two.
Yeah, and that was potentially pole as well, because Stealthy Sun is right now sitting sweet in pole position with a 1 minute 4.7, and the top 3 are separated by probably 600ths. That's it, and that's pretty close.
One very important thing with that, I set his time on 3 lap old medium, so we'll have to see how that plays out during the race.
And as we say that, I have to point out that Aerodev and Pasty have gone faster than those times by almost half a second or 4 tenths, and those are pretty fast.
You won't even know who's going to be on pole.
Absolutely, that's
shaking up really quick.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Pasty in a hurry to get back to the pits. Probably not bothered much about those tires. He's on mediums, 2 lap old mediums.
There's 5 minutes left, or around 5 minutes left in the session, and yet 5 people who haven't set the laps. What I'm thinking is that they're letting other people warm up the track for them, so that they have the track in the best condition to go set out the lap. That's what I'm thinking. They have a lot of self-confidence to trust themselves to give them only 1 lap. So
absolutely. Just as we say that, Contented Mink, who was on a lap, has now Oh, we saw a slight glitch over there. Some driver just momentarily came onto the grid and went away. Anyway, coming back to contented Mink, he's on a hot lap now, and he is on,
Can you please go on button?
yeah, medium tires. Yeah, let's stay on board him for the rest of the lap. He's also, let's not forget, he's also the Ferrari driver from the previous season, and he was doing pretty well with Rahul by his side. Some unfortunate incidents here and there, I presume.
Definitely.
Hello, Harry, can you hear me?
Yeah, SD.
Yeah, could you just mute it 1 second? Conveys.
Yeah, 1 second.
We have 4 minutes to go. I think that's.
All right, we're live. We're back again, and should be fine now, I presume. But there was a little bit of an audio issue that we were facing, so getting that sorted out. But nonetheless, I think we are still watching Quali. It was live most of the time. Let's just quickly see how it looks right now. We have Aero Dev, who is currently in P1 with a 1 minute 4.2 on his set of mediums. Pasty on a 1 minute 4.3, a tenth behind on 2 lap old mediums, but he's also in the pits. Their quali is done at the moment. Rahul, who is the second or the other McLaren driver has also qualified on a set of mediums with a 1 minute 4.4. Pretty close between the top four, I must say. And HB has bettered his lap time on the mediums. So these guys are gonna go onto the race with 3 lap old mediums. And Face Fighter over there, I have to point out, is on 3 lap old softs, the only soft runner currently in the top 10, other than Contra Bobby, who's also not gonna put another lap time. I don't know. Do you guys have anything to talk about over here?
I'm just looking at what's going on in this lab. I honestly feel that he's in P4 right now, and currently there's only one person that can possibly shoot him up, overtake him. So I don't think that putting this much wear for a couple of positions is worth it. But let's see how it is. Maybe he might improve by 2/10 and get pole. If it does that, it works out well for him.
I think he is on a pole lap because, except for his final corner, didn't look that great, and he's gone P2, and that's just 600ths of pace. And as we saw that, we did not check out on Simply YT, who's gone onto 1 minute 4.3 on a set of mediums. Again, 3 lap old mediums, and well, I need to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty surprised with the way quali has gone. Everyone going for the alternate strategy, majority, and only 2 drivers in the top 10 have set lap times on softs, and again, they're not very much on the pace of the medium runners itself. So we will see a pretty good battle between Face Fighter and the likes of Stealthy Sunny and KT because of the tire advantage that Face Fighter has, and he'll be able to take the corners a little better, and that tire disadvantage versus advantage and difference might probably put them on the same performance level on track. You never know.
Yeah, I would say starting on mediums is quite sketchy here because, like I said, traction here is very important. It's a very traction heavy map where a very traction heavy track where corner exits are very, very important. The soft runners definitely have an advantage near the start of the race, but their tires will die off much faster than mediums.
Absolutely. So the pole sitter over there was Aerodev for the Alfa Romeo team, and his teammate starting from P4 in on a set of mediums as well, Simply YT. P2 was taken by HB58 for the Red Bull, and P3 was taken by Pasty in the, I presume, the McLaren. Yes, I think my memories helped myself for the first 2 rows. I hope that's correct. Any predictions from you, Starmaxlord, and then we'll go over to Nutria to give us predictions as well.
The first race, so we definitely won't be able to tell how people like Aeroday will perform. Oh, wait, this is a surprise. I thought there would usually be no break before the race starts, but I guess not. I think someone might have read up.
Yeah, it was a 1 minute time that they're supposed to wait for, and I think whoever is readied up early is definitely gonna get a
penalty.
mighty penalty coming through by the for them. And I think you guys are not used to it from the previous seasons. I remember between no, y'all are actually, you'll take a bigger break between quali and race, I presume.
Yeah, we take a decent amount of break.
Yeah, so you'll wait on the grid for quite some time. So
Yeah,
must be a mistake.
Most of the people are used to it. So
Yeah.
back to the predictions. I've seen Pastry race before. He's quite fast actually. But I haven't seen his exact race pace because he's more of a reserve. HB, I know he has brilliant race pace and his quality is good. So I would say HB has a good chance of winning this race. Aerodev, he's new, so we have to see how his race pace is. Don't count
Absolutely.
Simply out yet because his race pace is pretty good. But I would say it is a shame to see Catty down there because Catty's main strength is quality pace. So you have to perform some kind of miracle if to do much better in this race.
Well, we'll definitely see that, and if we can get the telemetry up in terms of lap times, in terms of the tires used, the places, yeah, let's get all of that up because yeah, let's get the
Definitely
places, the
for that.
positions changed because first few laps it'll be interesting to see how the race start or the starts for the current drivers are. So let's get positions changed in detail. Yeah, positions changed. Yeah, thank you. Nutria, we'll take your race predictions just after the first lap, maybe because the race is about to start. We'll we'll count in on the lights out and probably a first few corners, maybe a lap, and then we'll be taking your race predictions. You'll have a better chance at predicting it, well, I presume, because yeah. Well, lights are coming on. One, two, three, four, five. Waiting for the lights to go out. Drivers revving out in the optimal range, and the lights are out. Perfect timing. Aerodev seems to have gotten a brilliant start. He's taken in. They've already formed a kind of line into turn one. Simply taking it cautious down the inside on Pasty. Goes a little wide. Both the McLaren drivers and the Alpha drivers. One driver has had contact over there, and I think it's Stealthy Sunny and Steel Sneeze who have gone off the track and spun. They might have front wing damage, and they are racing right now side by side. Red Bull and Ferrari into turn three. Contra Bobby and Katie. Katie just managing to hold on to P9 over there and stays in P9. Thinks about a move on Kundan the gamer, but again stays back. We see some wheel to wheel action going on over there. Just ahead of him, Contented Mink and Rahul exchanging positions. And Rahul seems to be struggling a bit on that turn, and I don't know if he has damage, but he's facing the heat from Face Fighter at the moment, and the Dirty is just kicking in over there. Someone just had an offing ahead, I presume, and it is probably Contented Mink, it looked like, but not exactly sure over there about that.
Too bad at this. Yes, thinking about the start, I think. Oh, this fighter, he spun. It was his front wing. He has to do a whole lap with the broken front wing now. And he reversed into the rear. I think he might have had rear wing damage now also.
Well, we saw that, didn't we? And we have yellow flags only on the start finish straight, but yeah, now that's taken care of. That was a bad situation for Face Fighter. He spun out of the final corner. He lost his front wing. Probably, I'm not sure if the damage model we've set of reduced and standard gives rear wing damage, but he took it mighty fast and slammed into the barriers over there with his rear wing. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure standard does give rear wing damage. I've experienced it before. And it is not fun, especially at a track like Austria. He's going to have a painful day at like, in the motor sector if he has gotten rear wing damage. And speaking about the start, as I was cut off by Face Fighter's incidents, I think one of the Alpines completely missed their braking point and completed the first corner and Sunny.
well,
I
that's
think that's what happened. Everyone's back up. He's back in P10. I presume he hasn't had any front wing damage.
well, as we speak about that, Aerodev has managed to already get a 1.5-second lead on the rest of the field, and he's setting purple sectors every lap. DRS has gotten turned on as well. Pasty is right now just setting up the move on HB. HB not able to open up a gap on Pasty, and now he's gonna be the sitting duck for this train for P2
Yeah.
right now. As we
Think
say that,
Pasty
a
maybe
big
easy
dive
ride on this.
from Pasty goes wheel to wheel into the entry of Sector 3, and now they're deploying some ERS trying to get ahead. Pasty gets the move done and is up to P2 now.
As you see, Sam get a 3-second penalty for listening due to many track violations. Face Fighter now enter the pits. He's having a bad day. He had a pretty good start, to be fair. He was able to keep up with the downhill, but that one mistake that cost his race.
Absolutely, and yeah, the biggest loser out of that race start was Face Fighter because he's now dropped down 9 positions from his starting position. But the rest of them seem to be in a pretty good spot, and there you just saw Pasty having a bad exit. Now he's gonna get attacked by 2 drivers. Simply Whitey getting cut off over there. Pasty taking the inside line to defend. Simply Whitey taking it a little around the outside, but pushes him wide, and that was some,
Brilliant.
yeah, brilliant
That was
defense.
brilliant defense from Pasty. Brilliant defense. Just a
Just
bit touch and go here and there, but that's racing, honestly speaking.
Yeah, absolutely. He did go do some elbows out defense over there, and I guess that must have caught out simply a bit. But he has to be careful of that damage model, because what will happen is if Pasty has that kind of contact continuously, he's gonna get a light green front wing damage, which will cause him heavy oversteer into the starting throughout the lap. We have yellow flags for some reason.
Top 6 are very, very close. Still very, very close. So we could see a huge DRS stream coming, which will be led by HB, while Erupe, which is far, far ahead.
Absolutely, and you gotta point this also out that Aerodev has taken over the lead 2.2 second lead over P2, and all this fighting is only helping him. And oh, Contented Mink almost bump drafting and pushing simply through the corner, turn 3, I presume. And he's getting closely followed by Rahul as well, who's no slower guy, and he's trying to take up those positions. He's just going to sit back, wait for these two to fight it out, probably. And ooh.
He's got tagged by Rahul, I think. Or is it registered?
It was just a wheel spin moment out of that corner. I'm sure about that because Rahul did not touch him. He was a bit back in the braking zone, and he did back out a little to see if the front two fight it out.
A pretty quick reaction for Rahul. I don't think Contented Link got wing damage, by the way.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. We don't have the telemetry that we usually have for the PC tiers, but I think we can go onboard Contented Mink and have a look from the third person cam and see if we can figure out if he has some kind of front wing damage. Let's wait and see when he comes towards turn 3. The camera will show us something over there, and doesn't seem like any damage externally. But yeah, yeah, we'll have to wait and watch.
So the tires used data.
Yeah, that will be. And as we say that, entering Sector 3, HB and Pasty having some wheel-to-wheel battles and a brilliant switchback from HB defending over there. He's gotten the position back with that switchback. Pasty probably going too hot into the corner, and now we see him pulling out a gap.
There.
Yeah.
Mega understeer that. I'm looking from the ability of HB. Simply has a very good chance of overtaking. But Pasty will have DRS. Let's see how Simply is able to get past him.
Well, all that fighting between between Pasty and HB has put him at a disadvantage now, and simply taking the wide line, I don't think he would have gotten a penalty for that or a warning. He has a brilliant run probably on Pasty now, and will try to think about a move at the end of the second or the third DRS straight, I presume. This one, it's a short one. He shouldn't have much of an issue. He's using his ERS also pretty well. I think they're going to try and settle down over here. They should think about settling down in this situation because of the fact that they're losing a lot of time to Aerodev up ahead, and it's also not helping their tires.
I think right now HB is on pace with Aerodev because for the past 2-3 laps, the time between both of them has been similar.
Well,
see Sunny do a beautiful overtake.
Yeah.
On Steel Sneeze. Steel Sneeze is trying to fight back, taking this all the way.
Well, the disadvantage there is that through Sector 3, if you're not able to pull out a gap over the car behind whom you've just overtaken, you'll probably just get overtaken back in the first two sectors, the very next lap, the very next consecutive lap.
Okay, to see Rahul Contented Mink fighting. I don't think Contented Mink can win this.
Yeah, there seemed to have been a little bit of an incident or some kind of oversteer moment for Contented Mink. He got totally out of the DRS zone of Simply, and now he's given the place to Rahul because of Rahul being close by to get that position. So I think he's gonna try and catch up to Simply Whitey now. But it's possible very much that Rahul and Contented Mink might become a train of their own at the moment because of the gap that has formed already.
Yeah. I think Sunny is disconnected for now, so I think can not. Oh, Pasty is gonna time penalty. This is gonna affect him a lot because I think it might be a 3-second time penalty. That carries on in the race. The gap is this similar. We might lose quite a bit of positions.
Well, HB is definitely causing a battle behind him, and he's just escaping because of the fighting behind him. Simply again trying to send it around the outside, but gets tagged,
Ooh,
and they
big
just
snag by
escape. But
Pasty.
this might get. Rahul just passes both of them, gets 2 places for free. Contented Mink gets past Pasty, and simply somehow, just somehow
Oh.
keeps it in P4. Now having to defend from Contented Mink, almost turns in on Contented Mink, gets sent wide, and now is again fighting with Pasty for P5. So
Oh, this
that's
is
just
not good for
costed.
both of them.
Yeah, that's not good for both of them. And considering the fact that it was simply on the outside and Pasty trying to send him as wide as possible, that was a little sketchy from both drivers.
That is really scary.
I hope it is not leading to any kind of spicy battles. But yeah, simply stays in P5. He's only net lost 1 position, whereas Pasty has lost 3 positions because of that. And Rahul's gained 2 positions out of it. So has Contended Mink. I think he was in P6. So yeah, that's
Contented Mink will have DRS, so this should be a pretty easy overtake for him.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
we
if someone has DRS on that straight and you don't have DRS, it's really hard to defend. Ooh, both had oversteered on that exit.
trying to push the limits over there. Rahul trying to do a switchback, but just had enough space on the inside, and the oversteer didn't help him as well from both Contented Mink and himself. So that must have put him on a slight disadvantage. In the meantime, we'll also keep a look. We have to look out. Yes, the timing board has glitched out a bit. It'll come back in the next few sectors or a whole lap. HP pulled out a 2-second lead because of all of that contact and confusion between the next 4 drivers behind him, and now he's probably driving around in clean air with no pressure and can think about just slow, playing the strategy on Aerodev right now, who is up in front, 10 lap old mediums, all of these guys in the top 6, and we'll have to wait and watch.
Catty is 4 seconds behind Pasty. He has gained a lot from all of this battle, which can possibly put him back in the fight for at least the top 5.
Well, now ex-teammates going wheel to wheel against each other, simply trying to be opportunistic over there to try and get a move on Rahul as well. Rahul and Contended Wing giving decent respect up to now on track, and now they're side by side. Rahul gets the move done with Contended Wing trying to send it around the outside, but I think that was not the best thing to do, and now that's given him a decision to make in terms of defending against Simply, and he just breaks a little late and tags Simply on the left rear and gets spun around. Luckily, Simply saving it and getting a position out of it. Now, Contented Mink is slowly rejoining and has dropped 3 positions now because of all of that confusion, and he must be having hot tires.
I don't know what happened there. Is it? Did he break through or simply failed? I think we'll have to see that after the race.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that after the race. But first viewing of that incident live, it kind of looked like Contented Mink was trying to send it on the inside and understeered. So I'm not really sure. We'll have to see more POVs. We can't really make those decisions on track. But nonetheless, we already see a driver getting blue flagged. Not sure who it is. Looks like a Williams, and I'm guessing it's Asli Khiladi because he's in P15 right now. Yeah, he's the one getting lapped. Doesn't seem to be giving way to the drivers, I presume. He's still out there. He's
Yeah.
asking the drivers to drive through him.
Drivers don't really like that because I'm pretty sure lap cars still give it dirty and he might get reported by someone.
Absolutely, and I think I remember I have to see Misty who was fighting Kundan Gamer, but I'm not sure what happened over there. And as I say that, I think Phase Fighter, who was in P14 giving way to blue flag cars, might have had an incident. I'm not 100% sure. But
Yeah, I think
yeah, he might have lost his
that
front wing.
origin.
Yeah,
Another incident with him.
I think he must have spun out on his own. He can't really make contact with the top runners. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He's basically maintaining a gap of about 2 seconds to Erude for the mark. He's dropped down to 4 seconds when HB.
Yeah, the fighting with Contended Mink would have not helped him. They had a few wheel-to-wheel battles and switchback moments through a whole lap, and I guess that pushed him more further away from the rest of the drivers. Pace fighter now trying to give way in sector 3 by going off track. That's definitely not helping his cause because he's gonna get warnings for it. And oh, Asli Khiladi momentarily on AI and going very slowly for some reason on track, and he's staying out and he's going pretty slowly. I think he's trying to give way to the faster drivers, and Phase Fighter right now into the pits for a fresh set of mediums at this point. I don't see softs going to the end of the race, and a new front wing.
Phase 2 is very close to Simply. Hasty as DRS, Simply as no DRS, Simply trying to defend.
That was a
Ooh, that's a
brilliant
wild move.
defense. But the
But
switchback.
yeah, the switchback is very strong in this corner. Simply cuts him off hard. Oh, some real battle going on between these two. Hasty following him through nicely. There's no need to do any overtaking here. All he has to do is stay within 1 second to get the DRS. To set up his next move on the second DRS straight. So let's see what happens here. So Hasty will get DRS here. Use this DRS and might use one of his battery to set up his move on the next straight.
But KT has made a pit stop. He's the first one to pit among the top 10 at least. I mean, one of the first drivers to pit on strategy and not damage. And he's gone onto a fresh set of softs and he had front wing damage. No wonder he was struggling with some pace around there. He's thinking of
that really
doing
was.
he's thinking of doing 20 laps on
No,
the
I
softs. I don't think that's possible. So it's a
I
two-stopper.
think he's definitely doing two stops. Katy definitely has the pace to do two stops. Control Puppy on the inside of Haphazard King, both of them giving enough respect to each other, giving each other enough space. Control Bobby will have DRS down the straight. Let's see what happens here. Oh, but Control Bobby isn't close enough to dive down the inside. Control Bobby does get a good exit here.
But he's pushing his luck with the tires because he's on 14 lap old softs and they will be at around 65% wear at this point, and he's slowly moving towards the cliff of this tire, and as I say
he's
that
fit- I think
he's
he's fitting.
fitting, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and he goes
Oh, it's unlucky for him.
I don't know if that's gonna trigger any kind of safety car at this point, but I think
And-
there's a VSC.
VSC.
There's a
Can we go on
VSC.
board Pasty, please? Oh, who dived on the Oxon? A Mercedes dived into the pit.
Still
I think that's Still
sneeze.
sneeze. I think he's going to benefit the most from this as he gets a pretty much free pit stop.
Well, you have to look at the point of the gaps between the drivers because HB is now 3.3 at least around the safety car. Sorry, the VSC, he was 3.3 seconds behind Aerodev, and Rahul is 5 seconds behind. Someone's gone to the pits. Steel Sneeze has already gone to the pits. We noticed that, and so has Missed 1108. Free pit stops under VSC, and I'm not sure if any of the top runners. And yes, HB has made a pit stop from P2 and has gone on to a fresh set of softs mostly. The top. Okay, Aero they were stayed out.
Yeah.
P2,
think
P3,
some-
P4, P5. All of them.
The fact that Control Bobby has done 15 laps on softs might actually result in people trying to finish the race on softs.
Okay,
It's radical, but some say it might be foolish, but let's see what happens.
yeah, we never know. I think Aerodev and Contented Mink are on the right call, but Contented Mink being after that incident is probably at a disadvantage. Now he has to probably just let HB pass because HB didn't lose much time because of the VSC. Definitely was a much better situation for him, and they have not lost much of time to each other. Oh, Contented Mink gives away the position freely without any kind of fight. I think I don't know if that was a very sensible thing to do, but he could have kept him back for the whole sector till he got into the pits or try to extend his stint. I'm not sure, but
I'm as puzzled as you are, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he doesn't even have wing damage. I don't know why he would do it. I think maybe he might just be trying to conserve his tires because fighting will just eat his tires more, and in the long run, keeping one position will not really help in the long run. I guess it might have been the smarter thing to do, but we'll see.
yeah, smarter thing to do it at the start finish straight probably, and go to the inside and not defend. But he's lost some time doing that, and now as we say that Katie gets the fastest lap, he's definitely going to be pushing all out from here on through the race because he has a lot more positions to make up and prove because he has the pace. We know that he has the pace, and if I'm not wrong, he was a probable for the win of the season driver championship of the previous season, but some unfortunate races put him on the backside and simply stole it with the consistency.
Important thing to notice is that top six, three people have penalties: HP, Rahul, and Tasty, while the other three are the leader, Erudev, Contender Link, and Simply. All three are known to have. I'm not sure about Erudev, but Contender Link and Simply are pretty good at not getting penalties. While Cathy has his previous habit of getting quite a bit penalties, but he has been getting better at getting penalties.
Can we quickly go on to onboard Haphazard King? I think we saw him spun around somewhere, but when we were having a slight talk about Katie, and he's probably getting into the pits. Yeah, he is getting into the pits. He has to make a pit stop because of damage. So we'll see if the front wing's being changed. Nope.
Oh, no front wing being changed. Yeah, I think it's just a regular pit stop.
Yeah, that means he was just spun around and probably lost some tire. He's forgotten to turn on the front wing repair, and now he has to do a whole lap on fresh softs. I hope the game is not playing its tricks on us because I see a shadow of the front wing over there, but I don't see a front wing over there. I don't know. I'm a little confused at the moment.
Okay, that is very, very bizarre. I'm not
We'll
gonna
try
lie.
to see his turn in and then we'll understand. Definitely no front wing. So yes,
Yeah, definitely.
Can we go on board Contended Mink for a moment because he is right now gonna be overtaking Aerodave because Aerodave has tried to go into the pits, and oh no, Aerodave's only
Oh, I
lost
think-
one position, and he's just 2 seconds behind.
I think,
Contended
I
Mink.
think, yeah, I think he should be going a lot slower because I think Erudev, before he gave the position back to HB, Erudev was 17 or almost 18 seconds ahead, but once Contender Mink gave back the position, Contender Mink lost 2 seconds. That's where I think Erudev managed to like not lose position to Contender Mink.
Can we go on board Contended Mink for a second? Because I think he did this in a similar fashion. He gave the position to Rahul 941 because there was a position swap, and oh, there seems to be a yellow flag in sector 3, and I guess that's one of the
Hitting right
Aston
now, I think-
Martins.
Let's see if this works out in the long run because, bro, if the others are trying to do a two-stop, the Contender Mink might benefit from that. Or if they're trying to go long all the way, their tires will be short at the end, which is where Contender Mink will be able to get the difference. So it's more of a give and take kind of thing. He gives a bit of time here, but maybe he's able to take that back at the end of the race.
Well, you're not wrong, and the man's definitely doing a one-stop because he has only 15 laps to do from here on, and that's very much doable on the softs with lesser. Let's not forget he has lesser fuel load now, and he has fresh tires, 3 to 4 laps old. Sorry, fresher, 3 to 4 laps younger tires compared to the others around. And Aerodev's already made the move, and HP seems to have had an incident. He's lost 2 positions. Can we go on board HP? He seems to have spun
Please
out
go
in
on.
sector 3, and he's
Lost
lost a
3
position to
positions.
Simply as well now. Ah, I
Oh,
hope
that
there's
is
no
a-
front wing damage. Oh, he is going
Oh
into
yeah,
the
there
pits.
is. He is going to the pits.
That is
Oh,
a
this is a
shame.
major, major bummer for him. He's been doing very well so far in the race.
That's just a sad disadvantage, and he has right now put on a fresh set of softs. Definitely going to the end. A fresh front wing, and
I don't think there was a front wing change. Was it front wing change? I didn't see any.
okay, if you've not seen anything, then I'm just stupid. I did not notice it. But if he's not done a front wing change, he's just given up those tires because he can't take it to the end anymore. But now he can push to the end because he has only 14 laps to do in the race. And yeah, that's
Yeah, I can confirm. He did not change his front wing.
okay. Thank you for that information. I think I just did not notice enough. And yeah, nonetheless, it's important to note now that he's in P7. Contented Mink has overtaken him, and they are probably very close. Can we go on to the onboard HP to quickly check what his situation is right now? He seems to
Yeah, with the
be
front wing.
he seems to be 5 seconds behind KT. Nutria, can you go on board Contented Mink, please? Well, we seem to have
Yes.
HP spitting again.
Oh, I think he forgot to change his front wing. This is to pit again.
Ah, so I think it's the same mistake that we saw
Yeah,
Face
I
Fighter do, I
think
presume? Or missed, or Haphazard, it was one of them. Can we go on board
yeah.
HB, please, Nutria? Yeah, we missed his pit stop, but he's definitely gone into the pits once more. I hope he has fresh tires. Yeah, he has fresh softs and a fresh front wing, and he's starting P9 about 11 seconds off P8, who's Stealthy Sunny on 8 lap old medium. So this is the situation for HB, who was probably looking at an easy P2 over there, but now he has to fight his way back up the order. Will presumably go all the way up to P7 at the best because Steel Sneeze is another 16 seconds behind Contented Mink. So it's probably his race ruined at this point.
I'll tell you whose race isn't completely ruined. I would say Contented Link is in a pretty good position. While he might be very far behind, if he manages to put a couple of good laps in, he might be able to get a podium here because of the penalty, of course, all the penalties that other people have.
Well, that's the cue for Nutria. I think you should show us the penalty situation right now, Nutria, because we want to see what that top from P2 to P5, the penalties that they're carrying, because that will be pretty significant. And as we say that, I think there's a spun McLaren. Let's stay on board Contented Mink. We might be able to capture the spun McLaren who's just coming onto the track. It's probably Rahul.
Rahul, yeah, Rahul.
Yeah, Rahul, who has a 6 second penalty, and he's right now dropped 2 positions. He's probably going to think about getting into the pits at this point, and he's again gone wide. I think it is Rahul, and as we see him on the left over there, he's spun around, and he is going to try and chip into the pits. No, he stays out. Oh,
I don't think.
let's go on board Rahul now, Nutria. That's probably the best thing to do at the moment.
He's going wide one.
Yeah, he's going wide everywhere. He doesn't seem to be having any visible front wing damage. It's just short tires, probably. Short tires, as in the rear tires, are probably skyrocketing in terms of temps. And that means he'll have to take about half a lap to get back to normal temperatures and then get back to race pace. But that is, oh my god, that was 2 drivers from the top 5 having issues somewhere or the other due to like unforced errors basically on their own spinning in the same part of the track. So it was Rahul and HB, but Rahul somehow survived and can continue for the rest of the race probably.
To be fair, that is a very, very sketchy part of the track. Very, very sketchy. It's pretty hard to get it right because sometimes you might think you might be able to pick it, might be able to put a bit more throttle on it, but before you know it, you're spun.
Well, Mist is retired on track right now. He must have spun and had a crash.
Safety car.
Let's stay on board Rahul. Let's go on board him. Rahul. Oh. I think we've missed out on the. Oh,
Oh,
Khiladi
died?
also has died on the start on the second DRS straight, and that
Can
means
we
we
go
have
on
two
board
drivers.
simply or pasty? So if we can see if they're pitting, simply or pasty. Because I think those are the two. Those are the guys. Yeah, who's pitting? Stage 5 and people. I think 3 people have pitted from what I can see. Can you change the telemetry to pitting? To the tire telemetry?
Well, I think they've double stacked at Alfa Romeo. They've kept the P1 and P2 positions, probably simply losing one position. Let's go on board simply for a second.
All of top 5 have pitted. All of top 5 pitted.
Yeah, that makes
think-
sense because of the fact that they couldn't have made it to the end. And it's a free pit stop anyway under safety car.
I think now it's just a 5 lap race battle to the end. So it's fine. Somewhat 5 lap. The thing is that Continental Link has decided to take the risk and pit instead of taking track positions, which I would say is a smart thing to do. After all, the people ahead of him have two of them have 6 second time penalties, and one of them have 3 second time penalties. Continental Link
Katie,
has a real.
Katie, sorry to point it out, but Katie has 9 seconds now. That's the new update for you. There you go.
Oh wow, okay, that is really not good for him because if he has 9 seconds, he could lose many positions, especially now it's a safety car restart, and the grid might still stay a bit tight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Penalties have been at a premier over here. Everyone taking, sorry, it was almost free. Premier is the wrong thing to do, but a lot of these drivers, almost half the grid have gotten brilliant number of penalties. I see only two drivers with 3 seconds, Simply and HB. The rest of them have all gone 6, 9, 12 seconds in terms of Haphazard and Face Fighter.
The Continental Mink has a real chance here to get a P2 or at least a podium.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. And he doesn't lack the pace as well. Aerodev seems to be the driver to beat at the moment, though, because of the pace, the outright pace he has over the others. He's had it easy. He's led from start, except for the pit stop, where he had to move from the first stint to the second, from mediums to softs. He lost one position to HB, but got it back pretty easily. So, wasn't really a fight for P1 for him. And he's been leading, except for that half a lap. He's been leading every other lap, and yeah, he's the driver to beat. He's also not got any penalties. His teammate Simply is right now in P3 and has a good chance of securing a podium at the moment with the kind of race he's had. The only other driver who can fight for a top 3 finish just because of penalties is Stealthy Sunny, but he's in P8, and that's a big order to climb at the moment, if you ask me.
True, but from what I know about Sunny is that while he does make mistakes, he is a very good overtaker and he has good pace actually. So we'll have to see some of that at the end of the race. Let's see how it works out for him because he has a real chance to get a good amount of points for Ferrari, especially after his teammate has unfortunately crashed out.
Yep, and safety car is in this lap. We will be going racing now. We shall go on board Contended Mink because he's the main guy to watch out for, I presume, in this safety car restart. And we shall stay, yeah, because this is probably the best POV we have. He's in P5. Aero seems to have gone for it, and he's gotten out the rest of the pack by surprise. Simply, probably in the same VC as him, has gotten a brilliant start. He will be fighting his teammate, I presume, into the first stint, but the pace might just help Aero there because the first 3 laps they won't have any DRS. Pasty is close, but 7/10 off. He'll have to drive a little aggressively for the next 2 laps to try and get closer to Simply. If Simply is able to stay within the... Oh, let's not forget they are going wheel to wheel over there. Steel Sneeze, HP, and I guess a back marker of Kundan the Gamer. And Steel Sneeze... Sorry, Stealthy Sunny has almost gotten the move on HB. He's on the inside. They're deploying all of the ERS they have. Oh my god, there was some wheel contact over there. Just escaping a DNF. Go on.
On the outside. Oh, this is brilliant.
and that back marker is not helping at all. That is just unfortunate that the blue flag rules are not being followed.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the track, I'm not gonna lie. This fighter has gotten 12 seconds of time for things that won't help them in their chances of the point of getting points finish.
Can we go on board?
This is unexpected, but we see Steel Sneeze in B6 ahead of Rahul. He wasn't really there, up there for the fight for most of the bits, but he has suddenly come out of nowhere. Can he?
Well, some wheel-to-wheel action between P11 and P12. They're not fighting for out of the points positions, boys. Remember that we have gone to the top 15 getting points in this season, and they're going wheel-to-wheel throughout Sector 3. Haphazard giving him just enough space, but then Face Fighter touching
Face
the
Fighters.
inside curb over there.
Yeah.
Definitely the curb of death. If you do not mount it fully, you're going to lose a lot of positions. And as we say that, some fastest laps being set over there. Aerodev was setting it and simply stealing it from his teammate, and then Steel Sneeze gets the fastest lap. Steel Sneeze is definitely on the move, and DRS is on as well at the moment. So Aerodev is still not out of the DRS of his teammate simply. And as we say that, KT just he's lost a position to Contented Mink. He's just slotted in front of Steel Sneeze, and Steel Sneeze just misses his diffuser and keeps it clean and no contact over there between P5, P6, P7. Very close, but yeah, now KT's lost DRS as well to Contented Mink, so that's gonna hurt his pace from here on. Simply seems to be sending it. He's showing some pace that he hadn't the whole race, and he's right now in P2 with Aerodev in front of him. He has the DRS open, he has ERS, and he seemed to have had the purple sector 2 up till that point. Aerodev definitely the pace to beat around here. He's gonna keep that P1 now. He's gonna help his teammate by giving him DRS and probably asking his favor to not get too close and cause an issue. I do not know if this is gonna help, but they are wheel to wheel now. He's making the move.
Yeah, I think they are swapping positions because Aerodev can stay within 3 seconds of his time and still get the win.
Okay, there's a safety car. There's a safety car. I did not notice that. Stealthy Sunny. Sorry, I'm confusing Steel Sneeze and Stealthy Sunny so much. But yeah, Stealthy Sunny seems to have had a DNF. We did not notice that at all. And well, that's just unfortunate.
I don't mean to be the bringer of bad news, but this had a compromised Aerodev because if Contented Link manages to clear page speed, then Aerodev's position is very much under threat.
Well, I think what I am trying to understand over here is why simply got the move done. Aero giving him this place as well partially, but I think the reason is simply having a 3 second first of all. And second of all, Aero has the pace and the racecraft, I presume. So he can go wheel to wheel with anyone below his position. Pasty obviously will have a 6 second penalty, so he's out of the picture, but he'll still be a block on track for Contented Mink, and I'm presuming Pasty is gonna try and fight for that position, but I'm not sure. But if Contented Mink does get past Pasty, then he's gonna be fighting Aerodev, and I don't see a reason why Aerodev is gonna try and block him and create a 3 second gap, probably giving him just enough delta to get P1 or stay in P2. I don't know. It's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible at this point, truly speaking.
Well, the AI driving is on again under safety car. We will have to have a look at that. But nonetheless, that I hope that.
One thing's for
Go on.
I think one thing's for sure, there won't be DRS anymore. So new things that has to be done without DRS because safety car DRS won't be reactivated if I'm not wrong.
You are not wrong because this is only the first lap under safety car. There is no question of phase fighter catching up to them within the next lap. And if that is the case, then I guess they can. Yeah, they're definitely going to go one more lap. So there's not going to be any DRS anymore, which means Simply can actually think about properly sending it and getting that 3 second nullified in terms of the WCC. But the WDC, it might be a small disadvantage for Aerodev, but again, he can easily get it back considering the pace he's been able to show us at the moment through this race.
I think all they have to hope is that Aero simply doesn't get a bad start and blocks Aero there, because some really bad stuff can happen if something like that happens. There's not much that can be said in the safety car because we're splitting at the stage of the race. Oh, goodness. I think that might have been damaged since Kundan is ahead of him and they both have had a collision. Can you go on what happens now, please? On what happens now? On what? I think we might be fine.
Well, the safety car is in this lap. Simply is bunching them up really slowly, and Kundan seems to be going a little eager on the throttle. Can we go on board Simply? Oh, he's given the position.
He's lost the position.
He's given the position back to his teammate. I don't know for what reason, but I hope he doesn't get an illegal overtake for that, because that could
He might have gone on
result.
off track. That's why this feels suddenly bunched up. I don't know what's going on. We'll have to see what happens.
Wait, they have gone for it. Aerodev's gone a little early, pulled the trigger early, and he's gotten his teammate on his tail again. This is unnecessary fighting, in my opinion, but Simply is going to back
Yeah,
off, I
definitely.
presume. And he has to defend from Pasty now because of all of that. HB getting another 3 second. Oh, Simply is again making the move. I do not understand what's happening at Alfa Romeo, but yeah, Simply seemed to have had the position in the race start, the safety car restart,
Yeah.
but he gave it up, and now he's put his teammate in a
Yeah,
position to defend from Pasty, which might not be the best thing to do. And as we see that 3 wide into the entry of sector 3, we have Steel Sneeze sending it down the inside. HP trying to defend pretty well over there. And he keeps Steel Sneeze behind. Brilliant defense from him. Rahul, the one who
Also-
lost places. Go on.
Pasty has Content Link has overtaken Pasty, and Content Link is only 2 times behind Aerowave. Simply it's massively his teammate in a disadvantage right now.
Well, I'm not sure if that is a disadvantage or not, but at this moment, Simply is going to lose a bunch of positions. He'll not be on the podium if he's going to drive in this way, and he only has 1 lap. So Aero is going to try and slow down Contented Mink at this point. Can we go on board Aero and see what his ERS percentage is at? Because this will cause some disadvantage. He's going to try and slow down the drivers behind. Yeah, as you can see, he's definitely short shifting a lot and trying to slow down Mink. Let's go and stay on board Contented Mink because this is the crucial part of the race. KT in the meantime, yeah, he's slowing down he's bunching up the field for sure. He's trying to get as much space as possible, and the guys behind fighting are gonna help because Simply will be on the podium because of that. And at this moment, he's already built a 2 second gap ahead of him, and yeah, he might get P3 at this point because HP and Pasty are fighting it out on track, and now they've managed to keep it there, and Aero's gonna try and slow down a little more, and he's definitely helped his teammate get P3 at least over there. He's gonna get P1 and Simply has managed to stay in P3 and finish the race in P3. That's a brilliant team game from both of them. Aero did the best he could to help his teammate there, and he's given his teammate a P3 by not much of a margin, but Steel Sneeze the biggest
Yeah.
winner over there, and well,
Celebratory spin.
well, celebratedly or not, I don't know, but KT did lose a lot of positions on that final lap. I saw it, but I didn't tell it so that we can concentrate on the battle up ahead. A brilliant team game from there, from the Alfa Romeo boys, and I'm kind of proud because I'm in the Alfa Romeo as well for this season. And wow, that was definitely a brilliant race. Towards the end, the safety car did spice it up. Aero Dev definitely deserves that win because the pace and the team game that he played and brilliantly backed up contended Mink to such an extreme that it helped his teammate Simply Whitey stand in P3 at the end of the race. So your top three, Simply Whitey in P3 and Contended Mink in P2 for AlphaTauri, and Aerodev winning the race um, with some brilliant driving and some brilliant team play over there. So let's see. And yeah, I think Aerodev's gotten the fastest lap as well. That's pretty much, yeah, that is the fastest lap. That's a 151, and he's gotten maximum points from this race, even after helping his teammate. I'm just that's just some brilliant racing. I did not expect that. But yeah, what do you think about the race?
I think it was definitely a very good race. None of us knew it was going to end this way. But and I think everyone missed the underdog here. Steel Sneeze with a brilliant race up into P4. That is the way he didn't get penalties. Only 3 seconds, which is, I say only because very little bit. Most of them at least have a 6 seconds time penalty.
Absolutely, and you're not wrong because Steel Sneeze, yeah, like you said, I missed it out completely because of that teammate helping scenarios up front. But Steel Sneeze at the end of the race was helped by a lot of fighting between HB and Pasty for sure. HB, Pasty, and Rahul were fighting it out. Steel Sneeze was up in the mix, and then that fighting helped him close the gap up so much that the penalties didn't matter anymore. He got it on track itself and probably jumped one position due to the penalties. But nonetheless, a brilliant drive from all the drivers. Some
Yeah.
issues for Face Fighter, but still finishes P10 by surviving in the race instead of DNFing. Um,
Mm.
and Haphazard is the last of the drivers to finish on track, crossing the finish line, and he got a P11. Um, HB over there with 5 pit stops, as we can see, due
Yeah.
to not getting his wing sorted. And so was it the fact for Face Fighter because he lost his wing that many times and also had to pit one extra time for the sake of front wing change because he forgot to set it the right way on his pit stop. Nonetheless, a brilliant race, and we shall go on to our podium interviews and wait for our drivers to come join us in the VC.
Yep, the podium drivers are in the VC.
Oh, great. So we have Aerodave and Simply YT over here. We'll wait on Contented Mink. But in the meantime, let's go on to Aerodave first. A brilliant win for you. So Aero, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly fine. That was a brilliant race from you. Let's say I was thinking about maybe you'll have a boring race up front, but towards the end, the team battles that you all helped out with each other, is basically letting Simply YT front and backing up the field. That was some brilliant driving over there. And were you all in the same VC talking about it?
Yeah, we want him.
Your voice is a little muffled, Aero. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah, we had to get him 3 seconds ahead of Mink because Mink didn't have a penalty. So I tried to hold the field up without doing anything illegal, but it didn't work out. So yeah.
Well, you did a brilliant job by at least giving him the P3 spot. He finished P3 on the podium, which was looking kind of impossible considering the fact that that final safety car just gave 3 laps of racing and y'all did not have any DRS. And on top of that, you both had a big pace difference in terms of lap times. So you were the faster driver definitely today. And yeah, you showed that you have the racecraft to legally bunch the field up and help your teammate get a P3 at least. So that's I think that's y'all should keep your heads up high after that drive in terms of helping the team out in the constructors as well. But nonetheless, how else was the qualifying for you? Tell me about that lap. The first lap you definitely did back out after your soft run.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep a good delta so that my medium run could have something to. I had some delta to work on. So I actually set a faster first sector on the mediums than my softs, so I was happy with the mediums lap. So yeah, it was a okay qualifying. I could extract a little bit more time, but yeah, with one lap, I feel like I was happy with that.
That was a brilliant. That was brilliant. So yeah, you've shown us new to the league, new to the Tier X grid, and you proved why you were the talk among the drivers about your pace. So very very grateful for that race from you. You put on a good show, and thank you. Good race for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, moving on to our P2 driver, contented Mink. Well, he had a lot thrown at him. He had to be bunched up by the Alfa Romeo driver of Aero, but he still managed to get P2. How was that race for you, contented Mink? Talk us through it.
Oh, that was a happening race, I guess. Really worthy of a season opener. Pretty good racing all around. Some really fast people you can see. We have newly joined and our defending champion also. So overall, I think qualifying was okay. Not the fastest lap, but I wanted to save my tires, so I was happy with that because we know a lot can happen in the race. So as long as we are in it. So even though after the incident with Simply, honestly, I have no idea. I have to go back and check again whose fault it lies more on. Just stay in it. There'll be safety cars. People mess up, and as long as you don't have penalties, anything can happen.
Absolutely, you showed that very importantly. You showed that the penalty situation can always help in the race. So being clean throughout the race did help you a lot. And even with that humongous effort from the Alpha boys, Alfa Romeo boys, you were able to put the Alpha Tauri up there and split them apart in terms of the WCC championship at least. So good race from you. Some incidents, yes, but I think that's something you can look at, and considering you're just P2, I think you and Aero can fight out in the next race for sure. But nonetheless, a brilliant race. Congratulations on the P2.
Thank you.
Moving on to P3, Simply Whitey. Well, our defending champion has come P3, probably only because of the penalty, but you never know because he was helped massively by his teammate, and it did pay out in a positive way by giving him P3 in the race, the season opener at Austria. So simply talk us to through your race. How was it going for you? You kept it clean till the end almost, but got that unfortunate 3 second.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I started off well. I was thinking of getting past Pasty and HB within the first two laps, but unfortunately, again, Pasty with his questionable driving style didn't allow that, and then I got stuck behind them for most of it. And when I got the opportunity, I went past HB and then Pasty. Both the times I tried to overtake him, he just pushed me off completely, and then made me lose a lot of time through turn three. But somehow I managed to get past him, and then the contact with Mink. I don't believe it's my fault because I had the line going through the corner, and usually it is sort of a stupid move going through there because there's a DRS coming soon after that. But again, Mink is a very experienced driver, so I'm pretty sure if he looks back at the clip, he know who's wrong and who's right. If he wants, I'll give my POV for it as well. And after that, the unfortunate 3 seconds screwed me over because I was pushing sort of hard. But then again, with my high downforce setup, I couldn't catch these people a lot by a lot. And then yeah, the last safety car. What happened was Aero was side by side with me. Going through the corner, and then this game being absolutely butchered by Codemasters and then taking full price for it. What happened was it gave the glitch where it shows that I got the illegal overtake on him, whereas I was ahead in the first place. But it doesn't matter. It's a good start off for the season, and looking at our pace together, Austria really wasn't my track. China won't be my track. Portimao maybe, but after that, it's going to be pretty solid 1-2s from the both of us. It's going to be an easy championship from here on out.
Well, that's a brave, very brave prediction and a brave. I can see the confidence within the team. That's really a good sign. But yeah, let's see how it goes. It's Formula One; anything can happen. And specifically considering the fact the game does throw a few bouncers at us and dusras, we have to be careful of what will happen throughout the season. But nonetheless, definitely a strong showing, a double podium, something y'all can go happy with to the next weekend's race. But yeah, that is a brilliant race all over from everyone on the grid and specifically from Yug 3. So brilliant racing, and thank you. Do you guys have anything to ask Nutria and Starmaxlord to our top three?
I mean, there's not much I can say. It was a very good race, very entertaining to watch. I hope our viewers enjoyed it a lot. Thank you very much, guys.
Well, considering that our podium interviews are over and we've come to the end of our stream, thank you for watching us, all of our viewers. That was a worthy season opener for the F1 side of the community and the Xbox tier or tier X, newly named for us. That was somewhat of a show, and do come back and watch our streams through the weekend. We have ACC coming up soon. We have the F1 PC tiers coming up as well, and this time, as Propi mentioned in the grid reveal, we have 4 tiers, out of which 3 will be streamed, and um, tier 3, tier 2 will be streamed on Saturday at night, and tier 1 and tier 2 will be on Sunday. Tier 1 being our no ABS grid now, where all the drivers will be going ABS off. So it will be a new beginning for the PC side. And nonetheless, thank you for tuning in today. Do like and subscribe for our YouTube channel, and you can also follow us on Instagram for regular updates throughout the season for all the other leagues in terms of the games, ACC, AC, or F1. And yeah, do follow us if you like racing, if you want to join our F1 league, or you're interested in ACC or anything motorsport. Do join us on our Discord server. You can find the links in the description of this very live stream. Thank you and good night.